Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to this installment video presentation. And this is a preliminary to what is going to come afterwards. Hey, buddy. Insomuch as that out of this new collection of artifacts that I have just been made available to, I'm going to be showing 17 pieces. And really, really nice. And some of them nicer than others, but some of them are just intriguing. In the overall collection, there are many that are much clearer and nicer than these, but I just am fascinated with some of these artifacts that you are about to see. There's 17 of them, and 6 of them have front and back, or reverse and obverse, front and rear, however you want to say it. And I had mentioned that I had been trying to get pictures from this collection since 1997, 98-ish or whatever. I always knew it was there. I never figured I would be able to see what was that. The collection came originally from an archivist out in Utah named Gary Taylor. And Gary Taylor, after he passed away, Dr. True Ott became the possessor of these artifacts, and he has the collection now. And so, shout out to Dr. Ott. And the man has done so much in life. He knows everybody, and it's just ironic all the stuff that he's been through. And beyond this, so shout out to him. Thanks, Dr. Ott. And next on the list is Steve Slade. Steve Slade is the photographer who took all these spectacular photographs. And he took inverted pictures and just did an amazing job of scientifically approaching these artifacts with measurements and weight and so many different things of that nature. Next on my list of thank yous is to Terry Carter, my longtime friend. And because of him, I got the thumb drive. Finally got a thumb drive. He got it from Steve Slade, and then he sent me a thumb drive, and then the thumb drive, though, the files were some really obscure it had to do with Canon, the camera, and so it was on a Canon. It was Canon specific proprietary files. I guess that's how I could say it. And so, given that, they had to be refiled. So, I have to do a shout out to Joshua Tree Observatory for reprocessing the photo files. And that took 16 hours of computer work. And some of these, to give you some idea, some of these pictures of these artifacts, they were JPEGs, and they were 32 megs. Have you ever heard of such? A JPEG that was 32 megs, 35 megs, and the whole listing of them was like 60 gigs. Unbelievable. So now we're going to jump in. I hope you enjoy it. I've enjoyed putting it together, and there's going to be 2 more follow-up videos done pretty quickly, as far as I can tell. Maybe even more. So let's jump in, and I'm going to have some more fun stuff at the end of this, and so here we go. Okay, this is going to be my first tablet with this this particular teaser type of photo show, and there's no set pattern to the way I'm going to be showing these. These were all just numbered. There's 115 of them, and I'm just going from one to the next of just what I thought is good carvings. And like I've said, none of these have been through forensics, and I have never held any of them. So I'm kind of shooting in the dark, but I just feel that some of these are really, really good, and we're going to check them out. So here's a handsome guy clearly a Caucasian of some description. Okay, now let's zoom in. And I'm going to start down here at the bottom. I'm going to slowly scroll. This right here is probably his name. That down there at the bottom is probably from where he's from. And I don't believe that that's some kind of yarmulke. Just a cat skull. Well executed. And let's look at the reverse of him. There's a Helios at the top. Some more script. I'm going to blow it up. Starting down here at the bottom. Could this be Helios? I don't think so. Just doesn't look like him. There's too many tablets to have him on there. But this is the reverse of that tablet. Now let's look at the next one. Here's some script. Now I'm going to zoom in. Start down here at the bottom. Lots of characters. And there's a piece missing here, and this had a hole in it, so that could have been worn as an amulet or medallion of some description. Good clean script though. There's a lot of script with this collection. Let's look at the next one. This has a man with his arms up, facing left. And this right here looks more or less like a female lioness. And I'm not so sure what that one is. It could also be a female lioness. And there's some script at the bottom. Now let's zoom in. Start at the bottom here. There's a little bit of action up here at the top, but I can't really tell what it is. Let's zoom in a little closer on these guys. And there we see a little bit closer on, looks like a mane kind of thing here, but this one doesn't have it. That could that be a male? I don't know. Our next tablet is some more script. Now let's zoom in. Start at the bottom and scroll up. Good looking stone. Next is this tablet, and this is quite peculiar. And I've got it situated like this to start with, okay? Because you see all these creatures. Here's a camel. Here's several other creatures. And here's their feet right here. And then you come up this way. And that's how this line here is oriented. This line here is oriented the same way as is this one, and this one, and this one. But this line, and this line, and this line are oriented differently. So now, I'm going to flip it, But now, you see this line is oriented properly, and this one is, and this one here, some of it is. So it's kind of twisted there. So let's zoom in. I'm going to start down here. And this isn't the first camel. There's a couple more that have camels on them. But what these other creatures are, you got me. I'd say this line here would probably have to be oriented up and down. Reverse. Let's get down to the bottom again. Now let's flip it again. And now it appears to me to be oriented correctly. Zoom in one more time. Now let's flip it back. Looks like a Helios right there, don't it? Here's a dandy. There's a dandy. Got some script over here. It's a female because right here's her mammary gland. You can see an areola. There's the egg yolk. And right here's her name. There's a sun over here and some indexing. She's got two hair, antenna, whatever you want to call them, coming out of her head. Now, I thought enough of it to draw it. Let's just go ahead and zoom in on her here. Ain't she a cutie? And there's some script in her great big eye. A lot of these scripted with this kind of individual, creature, whatever you want to call it, have some of them, others have script in the eye. Now I'm going to show you my drawing of it, or what I just, I made another print of this and then highlighted the lines. And this is what I got. Ain't she cute? Hubba hubba. How'd you like to kiss that girl? Huh? What do you think of that, Caesar? Here's my next tablet. I'm calling this right here his name because it's in the cartouche. Could be Helios. Definitely got the cobra and the uraeus. See the tail of the cobra here. And all kinds of script over here. All kinds of scripting. Now I'm going to zoom in. Start at the bottom again. And these characters over here are oriented sideways. You'd have to turn the tablet sideways to see it actually. Go up to the top here. And now I'm going to spin it. And now you can see that script really well. This is the reverse of the same tablet. Now let's zoom in. And it's clearly, you can clearly see a whale here. And there looks like some fishes down here. But that right there is clearly either a jellyfish or an octopus. And there's some fish here, looks like. Couple of birds with a sun. A lot of detail in the tail. here. Looks real good. That's a well executed well. And here's my next item. Got a little pyramid over here. Got the eagle. Let's zoom in. And I have a problem with some of these symbols down here. Big problem. This would be a good one for forensic. There is a Helios there. The rest of the script looks really good. And remember from one of the previous videos, the X with that right there, that's a so. There's a Helios. There's another Helios. And another one. With a sun at the top. Next is this handsome fellow. Here's his name. And most of these with the name, the name will start at the top. The letters will start at the top. And he's in the Uraeus with a cobra on it. Handsome looking fella. Now we're going to zoom in. Here he is. All kinds of busy right in here. Look at that. Look at all the detail in that helmet. And some more script. Next is this guy. Kind of hard to see. There's some script over here. We're gonna zoom in. Look at all the attention given to the detail in that hair there. You got the beehive, what they call the beehive hat. Now let's zoom in. And you can kind of see his collar coming in here. It looks like there could be an insignia here. Name over here. And you can't see him real good, but he's there. Heavily worn, but it is a nice stone. I gotta admit, that is a nice stone. Here is the reverse of the same stone. Now let's zoom in. We start at the bottom here. Carving of another boat. There's so many ships, boats. And these S figures up here are actually appear to be snakes. Looks like they got heads on them, cobra heads on them up here and up here. Sail. That's a wild creature there, isn't it? With the sun, very interesting. There's a little dark patch here. I wonder if that was a piece of tape on it at one time. Next in our presentation is this handsome cobra. And we can tell by how tall he is here and how he wraps around, he's probably going to be, what, 10, 12 feet or so? And I'm not sure what this is over here. Some kind of water basin or something. Fire. I don't know. And we have a 6-pointed star here. It's not a Megan David. This is years before Megan David, that's for sure. Okay, now let's zoom in and start down here and come up. That cobra is really well executed. Next is this warrior here. Now let's zoom in on him. And here we go. There's some script over here. There appears to be a lion in back of him there. Real nice tunic here. Well executed sword. All kinds of script. Is some kind of breast shield or something? Or it doesn't appear that he's holding it with his other arm. But maybe he is. Maybe I just can't see it in back of him there. Maybe that is his shield. Real faint right here, though, is another cobra. I don't know if you can see it there. There's the head, there's the eyes, there's the hood. And he comes down this way. And he appears to be facing right. Big plumage there. Good looking stone. Okay, next is this tablet here. This is strange. Lots of Egyptian influence on this. Got the sun up here, script. There's Helios. Now let's zoom in. Check out that face, the character in that face. Good looking tablet. Here's the script on the bottom. Now let's look at the reverse of this tablet. Has this lovely maiden here. I would say it could be a guy. I don't know. There's script all over it. Now let's zoom in. Got some armbands here, and almost looks like a breast right here. So I'm still going to call it a woman. She is not comely. This is one for forensics because of this right here. I believe that could be a taint. Here's our next tablet. It's a woman holding probably a baby. Here she's got her mammary gland, and it appears that she's holding her other mammary gland. And here you have some public interest right here. And there's another tablet in one of the collections that galleries that looks similar to this. Could be the same one. I don't know. As I say, I've only been studying these tablets now for what? Which is like 3.5, 4 months. Now let's zoom in on her. I'm going to start at the top on this one. Slowly scroll down. Here, it just looks to me like she could be holding something, or a mammary gland for this to suckle. We all know what part of the anatomy that is. This next artifact is pretty bizarre. He's got 6 arms. If you look right here, you got a little scrotum packet here. Yep, it's got some package there. You got 2 antennas, or whatever they are. And it seems like this is his eye. This is some kind of ear in his mouth. So he's facing left. See there, you can see the package. I just thought this was really bizarre, so I included it here. Now, this artifact here has several pictures. He's on the each side, the top, the bottom. It's one of those bizarre, it's like a 3D carving. And this shows a lot of the script. It's very bizarre, and this is quite unique. And I hope I do it justice. But anyway, this is the first shot of it, and I'm going to zoom in on it so you can see the script a lot cleaner, a lot better. Now let's look at another angle. Here's the next side of it, and you can kind of get some idea of how this is oriented. See, coming down here. And here's this script here again. And I don't know what that is. If that's an ear or it's one on the other side. But you'll see this is a very strange looking creature. Now let's zoom in on this side. And here we go. We've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3 lines of script. Let's look at the next angle. Here's the next angle, and the photographer calls this the bottom. So I'm going to call it the bottom also. You have some indexing here, script and script. I'll zoom in. And there's some smaller script down here. But now it gets really bizarre. Check out this guy's face. Looks like a sun radiant here. 2 eyes. It looks like his nose, mouth. And these could be ears on the side. I guess they are, even from the other angles. 2 pointed ears. This is bizarre. I have no idea what this creature is or where he's from. But now let's zoom in on him. Rawr! Strange. Quite strange. This is the last piece I'm going to show you in this presentation. And don't really know if it's the front or the back. And it's got some animals here that I have colored in on the next piece here. But let's go ahead and zoom in. And I'm going to start at the bottom. Scrolling up. Real hard to see. But you can see he's got 2 horns there. And this could be a bison, another bison. This looks more like a buffalo than any of the others. Now let's look at the reverse of it. And this is the reverse. I'm calling it the reverse. And a lot of it's faded. You can't really see it all that well. But now let's zoom in. Got some designs down here. Looks like an eagle or falcon. There's some kind of creature in here. There's head. I've outlined it so you'll see it better. And here it looks like another Cyclops. Looks like a pointed hood with an eye in the middle of it, kinda-ish. Or he could be facing to the left-ish. Now let's look at my enhanced efforts. And here's my first enhance. And this could be a buffalo. Sure does look more like a buffalo than anything else. And now let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to start at the top, work my way down. Not a lot of detail. Now let's look at the other side. Here's my enhancements. Now let's zoom in. I'm going to start at the top. This is as best as I could get. Strange creature. Could it be a guy looking to the left? I don't know. There's a goblin. Have no idea, but I like it. Some of these artifacts just keep me guessing. And there you have it. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed that teaser concerning Gallery 12 Part 1. And before I sign off, I got a couple more things to show you. And I got a couple more videos in the works here. I've already got some shoots ready. And we'll be seeing you again soon. And I got a couple more things to show you. And they're from the past, way back when. And so, and plus a spectacular picture. I wanted to keep this more artifact oriented, and that's what I think I've done. I hope I've done a good job of it. So, let's just see the ending here. See what you think. I recently found this old photograph that someone had sent me like around 1996. Sent it to my office in Melbourne, and I don't know how they got the address. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure where they got this picture. This almost looks like something Russ Burroughs took, and I don't know where he got this picture here, but it was before the tablet was broken. But he had seen enough of our videos to know that this was Julius Caesar, Aeola Caesar, and he made his own decipherment here, which we thought was pretty spectacular. Now, I had seen another stone like that, very similar, and it was obvious that it was Gaius Octavius is what the name of it was. And Gaius Octavius became Augustus Caesar in what, 14 AD or so? And he did his own decipherment. Gaius. And there's the Hisar symbol, but he knew that this was Gaius Octavius because of our timeline. And there he is, right there, just as plain as day. And there was another one, and probably could be a third tablet that I don't know of, but I know that there are two that are Gaius Octavius. And here's right next to Julius Caesar, who's his uncle. And you can see the similarities here and there. I mean, it's a stone rock, but it's not far from the original, and you can clearly see the helmet there. It's a no-brainer. But this person, I wish we knew. He had written something up, and I can't remember where this person was from, when I got the tablet, or the letter that accompanied it. But I did get it in the mail, and Paul and I thought it was spectacular. The next item I want to show you is this tablet here. And it's got like 13 or 14 characters. I'm going to zoom in on it here in just a minute. And what makes this tablet here spectacular, it's not very small, it fits in the palm of your hand, is that this tablet here was actually recovered from the R1 ravine, ravine number 1 at the rock shelter, the famous rock shelter that's in all the books and that the photographers went to, and just below the Indian pots or the Indian pits. And so we found it, or actually I didn't actually find it. I was with the person that found it, and we had been exploring, and we wanted to see what the damage was of the recent storm, because there were trees down everywhere. And he actually dug this up. I was with him, and I filmed it. I don't know if I can find that film anymore, but I think I did have it. But I hadn't shown this tablet in any of my galleries. I think I featured it in a video years and years ago, but I just wanted to show it again. And this is one side of it. Well, now we're going to look at the obverse after I zoom in. Okay, I've zoomed in, and we can't tell if this is the front or the rear. I'm going to show you the other side of it. We can't really tell. But you can see some of the script is very faded. And this the tablet is actually black, but it's a much harder substance than most of the black, softer stones. Now let's look at the other side of it. And here's the reverse. And you'll see a face here. I'm going to zoom in here in just a moment. But this is another fossilized brachiopod right here, embedded into this stone. And none of the brachiopods come from North America. Hello. Now let's zoom in and look at this face. Now I'm going to call this either the moon or some other kind of god, because when it's a sun, it has all kinds of radiance coming out of it. But you can clearly see a face right here. And it's well executed, actually. And it's not but, maybe 5/8 of an inch. I haven't seen this stone in years. It's in a local collection somewhere. It's got his eyes, and well executed nose and mouth. Not a bad piece at all. This is the last picture I'm going to show. And I recently came across it. And this is my picture of Shiprock. And there are photographers all over the world that would die to have taken this shot here with a nice camera, with more clarity. And I was traveling down, I passed by it several times, and I just happened to have my camera with some film in it. I pulled off a 491, and I stuck my hand out the passenger side window, and I snapped a couple of pictures with my 110 camera. A 110 had these real small film deals. They were like a couple inches by half an inch or so. Some people may remember 110 cameras. And I just happened to catch it just right. And here, Shiprock's about 5.5 miles from 491. So you're looking at least 5 miles away. And the colors and the clouds, this was in, I guess, late fall of 98 or winter or spring of 99. So anyway, it was 98 or 99, but it just happened to be one of those, and I just wanted to feature it. I found it, and it ain't got nothing to do with artifacts, but I just wanted to brag a little bit about myself, taking this grand picture with a 110 camera. And people, like I say, they wait out here for weeks trying to get a good shot of that. And that will conclude the pictures here. And that's a wrap, my brothers and sisters. Until next time, stay safe. Peace out. God bless you.